Hello world, welcome or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Sunday, December 1st, 2019. And you know what, before I get into the content of this particular video, a couple of things. You know, this channel of mine has been going strong and steady since I created it this past January. As you may or may not know, it all started with a tarot reading on Azriel Clary. Go ahead and check that out. It's in the archives. And it was due to my concern for her after watching the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. So fast forward to today, almost a year later. I'm so grateful for all who have supported my channel and me as a creator. And I'm especially grateful for my goddess warriors who stand with me in protecting and supporting victims and survivor warriors. And shout out to Team Truth also. I've made a strong connection with the Team Truth team, organization, family. So, you know, big ups to them for all the work they're doing out here in these YouTube streets where there's a lot of drama going on, and I'm flying above it. I'm flying above it. I have to, just to protect my my own energy and my sanity. Honestly, I can't help people if I'm, you know, in the mud. So with your support, I'm embarking on a new journey which involves this network that I'm creating for survivors and aides of survivors who are committed to being a sound voice and an active presence for victims all over the United States and eventually the world. I'm working behind the scenes to get the ball rolling on this thing, and I'm not doing it alone. I've met some amazing people while in this fight, and I'm excited to say that none of this work has been done in vain. I'm also working with people who are in pain due to past abuse, and we're praying and meditating together, and in essence, we're healing together. And I'm saying all of this to offer hope for those who are suffering, and as an open door to those who seek help for their own healing path. You know, I'm not here to convince anyone of Sylvester's guilt or entertain people who enjoy fighting and playing games in chat rooms. I'm here to make a difference. Life is too short for the BS, you know, and there are women and children who are hurting, and men too, honestly, boys and men also. So we'll just say people who are hurting. And you know, this is not a joke or a game for me. And you know, more power to those who find entertainment, who have the ability to find entertainment within this cesspool of a situation, because it's needed. And everybody, you know, needs a way to channel the energy. So for some people it's needed. And so not taking anything away from those of you who are out there mud wrestling and windmilling and in the name of unity, if you will, more power to you. I appreciate all who get it and who respect it. I don't have really time for anybody else. And if you don't like the message, there's plenty of other platforms on which you can play on. If you don't agree, but do it respectfully, you're welcome to honestly state your opinion and converse with me about it. But any disrespect will not be tolerated. But I thank you for listening with an open mind and heart. And as I always say, lead with love and the rest will fall into place. So now for the actual content of the video that I'm presenting today. You know, I'm here with some info about R. Kelly's past that may be new for some, but for others may be a refresher. I was planning on going through this timeline during one of my past lives, but we just never got to it. Guess we were having too much fun. But, you know, you can check my channel if you missed those lives. They're very, I think, informative and relevant, even with all the fun we were having within. And like I said, nothing wrong with that, but things have gotten so crazy out there in these YouTube streets that, you know, I just had to kind of lift myself up out of there. But again, go back on my channel and catch those past couple lives actually, and you know, we had a good time, and I'll be back live soon, so stay tuned for that. But I was re-motivated to post this timeline after watching a particular YouTuber who supports R. Kelly get upset when a viewer called in. A viewer, by the way, who turned out to be one of her moderators. This gentleman questioned her unbreakable support for R. Kelly and other fans who support R. Kelly with a simple question, I thought. And it was a valid question, but she seemed flustered and upset that he would ask her the question while live and not call or text her instead. And this said to me that she didn't have an answer. And I'm right. She admitted that in a separate live like the next day, which is how I ended up finding that particular live, because she spoke on it. It made me curious, so I went back and looked on her previous live. And yeah, she admitted that she didn't have an answer and she needed help from her chat or someone else to call in. And my thing is, you have a whole platform almost totally dedicated to supporting R. Kelly, but you don't know simple facts about the case. You know, because this person is herself, I guess, experiencing a loved one who's incarcerated right now. I've been there myself, so this is not new to me either. But, you know, because your dude is locked up, does not mean that, and he's black, it sounds like also, because I don't think she is. But not that that matters. However, that doesn't mean that R. Kelly himself is innocent and unjustly treated because you feel that way about your dude. So, with that being said, I'm going to play the audio that sparked me to go ahead and read through this timeline with you guys and remind everybody who we're dealing with in this situation. I think that with all the dust up in the streets out there, it's getting cloudy. I think the focus is a little shaky. And I feel like people, you know, I don't know. I just feel like it's not really about us. This is why I don't have to show my face. I don't need to show my face because I'm not out there trying to be seen and known. It's not about my face. It's about the information that I'm giving. And if you can't find yourself able to trust somebody because they're not showing their face on YouTube, then you need to look at yourself and wonder why it is that you can't trust words. Maybe because the ones that come out of your mouth aren't trustworthy. So anyway, here's the audio and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, Sylvia's smart, but you know, sometimes it's good to maybe keep low key and pull out your weapons when you need to pull out your weapons. For real.
She's calling her subscribers weapons, subscribers who supposedly know the facts of the case. She herself, though, isn't a weapon. That's what I find interesting. You should be your own weapon on your own platform.
You know, so Sylvia, you are a weapon. You are a weapon. You're a very decent choice for a weapon too. Angie Morgan, shout out to her. She came on my show last night and she broke this shit down, and I was like, oh shit. I was mad at Steven, but then at the end of the day,
Steven is her viewer who called in, and also apparently a moderator who she said she was mad at.
Steven made a beautiful move by putting me on the spot like that, because then I yelled for the crowd like, look, somebody please help me. Please, somebody answer these goddamn questions for me, please. For real.
Okay, so that was her saying basically she was put on the spot and she needed help from the chat or someone to call in and save the day for her. So now I'm going to play the actual question that he asked and how she responded, the exchange that they had.
Sexual assault, raping a minor, sexual abuse, and kidnapping. Sister talking about how she was a prostitute. So she never pressed charge.
Nah, okay, listen, right? So a lot of what you said, you know, is stuff that, for the most part, I've heard in one fashion or another, you know, throughout my time in the chat, right?
Yes.
And for me, you know, I feel like it's irresponsible. Just speaking personally, it's irresponsible who are content creators, people who are just simply viewers or fans or supporters, you know, we are just enough degrees removed to where we can't know, or we can't reasonably distinguish what's fact and what's fiction, right? So that's one lens with which I kind of filter information. Okay, that's one. Two, to your point, and to a lot of people's point about the ages of some of these girls when this alleged illicit activity or brainwashing, kidnap, whatever the fuck it is you want to say took place. These young ladies at the time were 18, 19, 20 years, but what have you, right? Grown out there loose booty in it, whatever the fuck, right? Now listen, you know, I already know this shit. I know some grown ass women that's no older than 14, 15 years old, just from the way they move, right? So I understand what it is, but it's more than an age thing, right? When you are 18, 19, when you are 20, 24, 25, or whatever, there's still an imbalance as it relates to a younger woman, younger man, or whatever, you know, entering into a relationship of any type with somebody who, it doesn't even have to be somebody who's older, but if there's somebody who is more successful or just successful, period, you know, they are financially independent, that right there in and of itself skews the balance of whatever that relationship would ever turn into anyway, right? When you add on top of that celebrity, there's a imbalance as it relates to equal footing in a relationship. And my point is, you know, if you're just some young lady who wants to make it big in the music industry, and you're an R. Kelly fan to begin with, when you find yourself in his presence, I can't imagine that the relationship won't go how the fuck R. Kelly wants it to go, just simply because of the dynamic, right? So I think it would be naive for a lot of us to think that it doesn't really matter what age the lady was. It would be naive of us to think that, you know, she was an equal partner in the relationship. I don't care.
Okay, he deserves a bell for that. That's the truth bell for newcomers. So what he's saying, I agree with to a degree, because I do think the age does matter, and I do know that we're minors, not just 18 and over girls involved in the cases. Okay, so we're going to continue this.
She was old enough to make the decision to be subservient or to be submissive, but let's not mistake the fact that she most likely was. And if that was the case, that's not a balanced relationship, and, you know, things can come from that. That's one point, right?
Yes.
Another point I was going to make too is I seem to see a lot when people, you know, discuss the particulars of this case, and it's been going on for a while. You know, people bring up the Harvey Weinsteins, Jerry Seinfelds, the Bill Cosbys, the Woody Allens, or whoever the fuck, right? And the point always is, well, where was this energy with this person? Why is it only this energy with R. Kelly? And how about this? And how about that? And so on and so forth. And to me, while I completely understand that vantage point and having that sort of, you know, opinion, or having that sort of for instance given as to why things seem to be unbalanced, to me, at the end of the day, it's still whataboutism, right? It's whataboutism. It's like Democrats and Republicans, you know, one talks about this one talks about that one. Well, when this one gets caught doing something wrong, it's like, well, what about what he did? What about what she did? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what the fuck he did or she did, because what the fuck you did was still wrong.
Okay, another truth bell for that. Thank you. Thank you, caller. Let's continue.
So just because somebody else did something similar or even worse, it doesn't mitigate or diminish, okay, what it is you have done or alleged to have done. So just because somebody did something similar, that doesn't absolve you of at least potentially some responsibility, some culpability as it relates to what your situation is. So for me, you know, sometimes I find myself a little frustrated by the whole whataboutism as it relates to the whole R. Kelly situation, so on and so forth. Right? That's another one of my points.
Right.
An additional point, and I'll probably, you know, leave you with this one, is for me, right? I've heard nobody, you know, even allude to or even in passing say anything about what if, right? Again, just being reasonable, just being responsible, not being myopic in your focus, not being so narrow-minded. And there's no disrespect and no shade to nobody, right?
Real quick.
But I haven't heard anybody even allow for the possibility that maybe, possibly, potentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 things that has been alleged about R. Kelly, you know, could be true. Not might be or quite possibly, but just allow for the fact that maybe it's true. To admit something like that does not mean that you are not a staunch supporter.
Bam. Right there. I have never heard a viewer call in with such preciseness in his thought, eloquence, and facts. Facts, people. And this man was her moderator and has been in her chat. He needs to find us. Who is this man? Steven, if this is you and you're out there, holla at me, man. Like, I'm feeling you right now, what you're saying. It makes so much sense. Too much sense for who you're even speaking with. And I don't mean to be negative. But this person, after I saw the reaction, which let's continue. I don't want to speak ahead.
A staunch supporter. To acknowledge the possibility of potential wrongdoing does not mean that you still not riding to the wheels fall off for Robert Sylvester, right? But for those of us who are even more on the other side than I am, people who would entertain and engage supporters, at least hopefully in a substantive, non-emotional conversation about the facts of the case, right?
All right, wait, real quick, Steven, can you hear me?
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, good. Because you asking a lot of goddamn questions and I can't answer them because you keep on going. So as far as us comparing R. Kelly to other situations, it's not about whataboutism. What it is about is justice. The problem is in this world, period, is lack of justice for African American men, period. And when we compare the situations, his situation with other people's situations, it's because he's been done unjustly. And that's what it is. It's not about what about this one, what about that one, what about this one. No, it's about how come they are allowed to stay out of jail until they're proven guilty, and how come
Now, but real quick, real quick, not to cut you off, right? And I will just say this, you know, I appreciate your point, right? But what you're doing right now is you are talking to a black man.
Yes.
Somebody who
Tell her.
wakes up and goes to sleep, and every minute and second in between, you know, I'm a black man.
Right.
And everything that comes with that. So as it relates to the injustices and all that kind of stuff, like, that's firsthand knowledge for me. I breathe, you know, sleep
Trust,
and shit
my
that
old
every
man,
day,
my
right?
old man in jail now on a 5-year bid. Trust, we know all about it.
Okay. She's saying her man is in jail on a 5-year bid, and we know all about it. We know all about it. And you do not know all about it. You're sitting at home. I don't even think she's black. So to be a black person and have a black experience in life in this society is even another part of the empathy for our black men. Okay? So for her to put 10 toes down for Robert Sylvester Kelly because her dude is locked up is bullshit.
Yeah, right. I got you. But listen, the same way I can't possibly know what it's like to have my period, right, or to give birth.
Tell her.
I can empathize and understand as best I can, kid. But I will never know. I'm telling you, as a black man, there's some things that you all one, you just will never know. That's a whole nother point. But I just say that to say that the injustices that we absolutely face every day, every week, right? Not only from the man, but from our own people, right? Believe me, I'm well aware, and it's one of the reasons why I'm inclined to give every nigga, whether he or she is guilty or not, the benefit of the doubt. Everybody from OJ to who the fuck ever. But at the same time, I refuse to be, I refuse to give people the benefit of the doubt to the degree where I'm just unreasonable in assessing any given situation, because then I'm compromised personally, right? That's my thing. And everything that you are addressing, I get that, but my biggest question that I've been wondering from not just you, but other supporters who have been, supporting them for much longer than you have, right, is where is the allowance for the potential that maybe he has done something wrong? Why?
Thank you. That has been my question all along. Those of us on the side of truth, facts, the law with regard to Sylvester, I'm not saying in general, because yes, the legal system is definitely racially riddled with discrimination, the whole nine. We know this. But in Sylvester's case, I think he's had the opposite effect. He has had more opportunity, chances, because of his celebrity, the money he had, or maybe he still has, but the money he was able to spend on hush money and things of that nature, the quieting the police, all of that. He has not suffered as a regular, typical black man in the streets. So R. Kelly has been famous since he's been a young guy, a young man in his 20s, right? So he doesn't know that life. He might know from other people. He has not lived that life. So to put him in that category, and on top of that, he does not represent every black man. He don't represent no black man that I know, no black man that I love, no black man that I even come across, even like at work or wherever. No, he does not represent him. So he is his own person. He is where he is because of what he has done. If you want to say alleged or want me to say it, I'll say it. Allegedly. But this man right here is making so much sense. I had to just pause it, but he's not done.
Why is it hard for somebody to say that?
So I'm going to interrupt you on this, and the reason why I'm going to interrupt you on this, Stephen, is because it is proven that a lot of these alleged victims are not victims. They're in it for the money. They went into this thing. If they were victims, they would have been a long time ago when they're alleging these incidents that happened. There's no police reports filed. They should have been filed. If they filed.
Okay, so here we go again with the lies. Or if you want to just say she's ignorant about the facts, ignorance.
Felt like they was victims back then. They should have filed the police reports back then. But they wait until after the docuseries airs to go to start filing reports, going to the courts, filing this, filing that, because they have to file through for a docuseries number 2. That is the docuseries number 2. Wait, hold on.
You know what that sounds like, though,
Hold on, Steve. Hold on. For those of y'all out there, the docuseries 2, did that already come out?
So she's asking if the second part of the docuseries has aired. And initially when I heard this, it made me even more frustrated because I think most of us know the docuseries, the official from Lifetime, the second part is coming. It hasn't come out yet. Okay, it's been announced. And I think that's about it at this point. And I've talked to people involved who have confirmed that they have shot this in this past summer and it's coming out soon. I will give her a pass on this though, because there was another aftermath, I think, version that came out, but it wasn't from the same makers as the original and it didn't get as much heat. So I'm going to give her a pass on that.
He has been found innocent in previous trials. The allowance of him being wrong. Are you serious, bro? We have not found anything yet.
I'm reading the chat with you, kid.
Okay, good.
Listen, my point about that too, right?
Yes.
Because obviously, it's no coincidence that when the docuseries came out, all of this got rehashed and all of a sudden it caught fire and caught some brand new momentum. I get that. There's obviously no coincidence. And when you juxtapose that with Harvey Weinstein in particular, it makes you even more upset. And then you throw in some Bill Cosby, it's like, what the fuck? We got to close ranks. I get that. But as it relates to it being a money grab and, well, where were all these allegations before? Those are all valid points. But to me, again, somebody who just by nature is a devil's advocate, because I like to see, the whole 360 of the situation. It sounds just like, right, when those little boys may have been diddled back in the late 60s or 70s in the archdiocese, right? But they don't come and tell their story. They don't give voice to what happened to them until 2005.
Thank you. So he's talking about the Catholic Church and how the victims, the children, the young boys were sexually assaulted, criminally sexually assaulted in the church, came out decades later, and a lot of them did get payouts. But does that make the priests innocent? Does that absolve them of their guilt? Absolutely not. So this is what the comparison that he's making is, and I totally agree with him. And let's continue.
So what's their excuse?
Well, it's not so much what's their excuse.
She's confused.
It's what's their motive, what's their intent. So if somebody says...
Does it matter what a victim's intent is when coming forward about being victimized? Because they want the person brought to some accountability. Does it really matter at that point if they have been victimized, what their intent is for coming forward? I think not. I think coming forward in general, regardless of intent or reason, is what they should be doing, period, no matter how long it takes.
To you, look, listen, I want you to tell your story. You won't get a little bit changed for it. It's going to motivate you to tell your story quicker. If you have a little kid, a little boy, and a lot of these boys come out with their stories when they like 12 and 13 years old and 15 years old. Like it's...
Okay, she's speaking about them as if it's some normal thing. Well, the 12, they don't even come out until they're 12 or 13. What about the fact that they were assaulted in the first place? What about the fact that this is... Why are we skipping over the actual crime of the situation and talking about the victims and what they've done or not done? This is where I'm confused.
Coming out a little bit earlier in the mix. These little boys is being raped by these older men in these churches and shit, and it's sad. But we're talking about grown ass women. And
all of them were not grown when the alleged events took place. Okay, the rapes, the kidnappings, all the manipulation, all of those things. A lot of the victims were not of legal age, and I don't understand why people don't understand that. It's documented information.
And it's not even that we have to prove it. It's facts. It's facts. To you, it might not seem like facts because you haven't yet seen anything visual besides my videos and people talking on...
Did he not just say he's somebody who is a devil's advocate? He does his research. Clearly, he's an intelligent brother, but yet she's dumbing him down. Interesting.
On my platform. So for I got somebody who's going to call in next, and they're going to call in and they're going to explain and answer everything that you had a question to better than I can and more detailed than I can.
Wow.
And so with that being said, I think they'll be able to answer a lot. But if you really want to further your research in this, you got to go beyond this chat room.
It sounds like she's the one that needs to do her research, to me. She's belittling him, saying, oh, well, you're just confined to my channel. That's not true. And also telling him, go do your research. That's really petty of her. And I think that, again, she's the one who needs to do some research. She has to call on other people in her chat to rescue her from this guy who is asking valid, sensible, intelligent questions.
And you got to look up other videos.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean? And I understand where your arguments is up, but if you want to really understand what's going on here and you really want answers to these questions, you got to do your research just like we have.
Wow.
But you know what it is, Kate?
So she's saying, just like we have, So if you've done your research like you say you have, you should be able to address him intelligently and without all the emotion that's being stirred up. If you see her face, she's hot. He's going to also address that. Here we go.
Longer. It's less about this story, right? It's less about R. Kelly. It's less about Cosby or mentality of the mentality of the supporter, right? Because you can switch out R. Kelly and just as easily put in Chris Brown or Marion or fucking who the fuck ever you want to, right? They're all gonna have their followers. They're all gonna have their supporters. So it's less about the person. Nope. It's less about the man with the killer catalog. To me, it's more about the mentality of the supporter, if that makes any sense to you.
It makes lots of sense to me. And I would not be a supporter of R. Kelly if I did not feel it. If I felt as though as I wanted to carry the same narrative I had before, I would still carry that on my channel because this is my channel. This represents me and how I feel. And now I realize and my eyes is open to what's going on. And what's going on is he's unjustly locked up. He has not been proven guilty. And that's a fact. That's not a whataboutism. That's a fact. Now, as far as other situations, Chris Brown and all them, I don't know nothing about their case, so I can't speak about it. If their name was put in this situation, no, we would not feel the same. Not until we have understood what was going on. Chris Brown not too long ago got accused of some shit by some woman over in France or some shit like that, and that was he was found not guilty in that. Apparently she was doing it for the money. I don't know, but I'm just saying the research has to be done before we can actually get on these platforms and actually say anything. I couldn't fully support R. Kelly in the way that I do if I felt any other way. I truly believe in his innocence, just like I truly believe in my old man's innocence. You know what I mean? He's unjustly locked the fuck up.
There it is. Her old man. Here we go again with that. See, she is conflating her feelings for R. Kelly and her dude who apparently is also locked up.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that I believe that are out there right now that need to get locked the fuck up. But, you know, it is what it is. And this is the judicial system we're working with. They don't give a fuck. It's made
hey,
for
listen, I'm watching you. I'm watching you on the screen. And listen, and that's why I asked the question I asked, right, before I even, left into the conversation. Because, again, sometimes when people either have dissenting opinions or opinions that aren't, I'm never worried about being popular. You know what I mean? I'm the shit, right? So, and I'm comfortable with myself. So I'm never worried about being popular, right?
Yes.
But sometimes when you have an opinion that goes against the grain, it can be seen as trolling, or it can be seen as somebody who is intentionally trying to provoke, right? And I really do hope that you can appreciate the fact that I'm not, that I'm literally, talking to you as my girl Key, and for the rest of those in the chat, and I'm genuinely asking questions that I genuinely, have on my mind.
And so what I gotta stop, I won't stop you. I appreciate you, and I gotta stop you real quick.
Okay, wow. So I'm gonna just say here, he's coming from her from the heart, coming at her, from the heart. He's telling her he's genuinely just asking questions he really has, and that he supports her channel. He's a moderator, so he clearly supports her channel and her as a creator. So for her to interrupt him in this way is rude, in my opinion. But he hangs in there, and this is almost done.
But as a moderator of mine in my chat room, maybe you should call me one-on-one, just like you are doing in the chat.
Okay, so there she is, outing him as her moderator and challenging him, asking him, why aren't you calling me in private? Why are you doing this on a public platform? Which I think is also unfair to him, because isn't that what the platform is for? If one of my mods called me, or if they were already on the live with me and they questioned some things that came to the table during conversation, we're going to address it, and we're going to address it factually. We're not going to call in the big guns from the chat to rescue anyone, right?
So you can understand it a little bit more. Maybe I could put you on a phone call with Dana J where he could explain it to you a little bit better.
Wait, so she's telling this guy who's clearly a smart guy that she's going to link him with Dana J. I'm sorry. I know he's the beloved guy right now. because of what happened to him with the two YouTubers. But honestly, he's still Dana J. Come on. Let's not inflate him to be someone that he's not. He is who he is. He's somebody we have not trusted as far as his word. And we've seen how he moves. And it's something where integrity is questioned. So why are you linking this guy up who seems to be a pretty straightforward guy, pretty smart also, and you can't handle it on your own channel? You have to call in other people and then suggest linking him with the likes of Dana J.
And if you need to be, schooled on some things, trust and believe, there's people I know directly that I can call that could really school you on the information that you need to be schooled on.
Again, she's she's belittling this man, telling him he needs to be schooled because he doesn't agree with her. When she keeps saying, well, I have facts, I've done research, but she's not telling any of them. She's not stating anything factual or anything that she's researched. This is where I'm confused. But he's holding it down. He's being very respectful.
It's just as easy.
I will say this, Kate, and I'll let you go. But it kind of hurts my spirit a little bit that you seem, because I'm looking at you on the TV, you seem to be a little tight, right? And and maybe I'm misinterpreted. If I am, my apologies.
She's tight. She's definitely tight, and she's about to cut him off again because he's calling her out. And if you do see this, and I'm at the 1 hour 46 mark, 46, almost 47 mark at this point. So if you want to see this for yourself, but if the look on her face, she's perturbed. She's probably embarrassed, as she should be. If you're going to run a channel and you're going to focus on a particular topic, you should really know what you're talking about. You should be able to defend yourself if someone calls in with these type of questions.
Here's why I'm tight. Here's why I'm tight. Because you've been on this phone for 26 minutes, 27 minutes, and you do this every time in the chats or whatnot. And I don't care, and that's fine. And I appreciate your call and all like that. But you're a moderator. You're here in my room. You have my phone number. Like, you can call me and talk about this to me one-on-one if you got any questions. It's fine to voice your opinion in the room and all like that, and that's fine. But maybe sit back and listen, and you'll learn a little bit. Or say, Keish, look, listen, I got some questions. Text me. Call me. You know what I mean? Keish, I need to find out what the fuck? This shit don't sound right. Okay? I don't like what's going on. I don't like the way, maybe these girls is right and they really is victims. I want to talk to you about this. And you...
So, okay, so she's basically telling him again that he should have called her behind the scenes on this. My thing is, if you are holding down a platform, you've created a platform, a lot of your topics are about R. Kelly. She's clearly supportive of R. Kelly. Don't you think with all the research you've done, with all the facts that you have, that this is an opportunity to use your platform to teach others by schooling him? But you can't, because you don't have facts and you haven't done research, and you're relying on other people to come to your rescue. And you want to belittle this man, telling him he needs to watch your channel to learn. And if he's been a moderator, that means he's been watching and listening. And if he hasn't learned anything by now, that's on you, not him, right? And also, if he's giving you an opportunity to teach him, then why aren't you taking the time to do so on your platform? It'd be a really good look for your live, for you as the content creator, as the channel creator, to quote unquote school him on YouTube Live, right? I would think so, but you can't do it. See, this is my point with this juxtaposition of both sides of the case. Basically, he's asking valid questions. She can't answer them.
You can voice your opinion to me verbally, face to face. You know what I mean? You can.
Right. What's the problem with doing it? What's the problem with doing it on the chat where everyone else in the chat can hear, and the same people who you are saying may be able to school me about what it is I don't know can actually hear what it is I may need to be set straight on?
Okay, Malcolm, his name's Malcolm Stephen X. Malcolm Stephen X, and I I don't even think I've heard this part originally. So he and I are definitely kinfolk. I need you to reach me. I need to pick your brain, sir. I need you over here with us.
What? And they're going to get ready to call in.
And them not even hearing it.
They gonna call in.
They're gonna call in.
And they gonna answer everything.
The troops.
In the chat. You see them. You see what I see. You see they want to call in.
That's the point, though, Kate.
Right. They want to call in and they want to explain it.
She's so embarrassed.
So they will.
She's so embarrassed. This is sad.
Well, you enjoy your evening.
Wow.
Enjoy Thanksgiving and all of that.
Shame on her for this.
We just out here, at least for me, I'm just out here being authentic, right? And just asking questions that are genuinely on my mind. And hopefully nobody takes offense to it, because I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, right?
Okay.
So just, be easy. I've been respectful, so whoever
yes.
needs to say what they got to say, I suggest they be respectful as well.
Okay, tell them.
Jersey boys for life, I'm holler at you.
All right.
Did he say Jersey boys? Okay, wow. So this continues. She has people call in defending, the support for R. Kelly, and I guess trying to answer him. But if you want to check it out yourself, I'll put the thumbnails. Props to her. Listen, I was on her channel in the first place because I check her out every now and then. Seems like a nice lady. She's entertaining, I think, also. So, I'm not trying to cause any issues with anyone or put anyone down. But when it comes to this situation, these cases, I'm serious about this platform and what I relay to my audience. And it's people like her, as well as the type of rhetoric that she spews, that is the reason why I'm still here and doing this, is because we need a balance from that. Because that right there is a misrepresentation of everything that's going on. And I feel like the right people hear this wrong content only, and they will be misled, and they could be possible jurors in the future. So with that being said, this is a teaching moment as far as I'm concerned, and it's commentary also, in case she tries to in case this gets to her and she wants to file a claim, a copyright. It's legit commentary, so I won't use the actual video. I'll just use the audio and a pic. Or when I saw this, I didn't even know this call was this long. I heard a part of it, and I decided based on that I was going to use this as the preface to my my timeline that I'm going to read through for R. Kelly and his crimes. So I didn't realize, though, this call in itself is a whole video. So I'm going to make this the part 1. I'll do the timeline as the part 2. And so I hope you tune in for that. If you're new here, please subscribe. I appreciate your taking the time to watch. If you're a return viewer or one of my warriors, I love and appreciate you very much. And let me know what you think about this in the comments. And we'll keep doing this. We'll keep going. Yeah, like the video. Let me know you were here. And until next time, peace.